Hello everybody, welcome to UroChannel. My name is Stefan Buntrock, I'm a urologist and sexologist. In this video, I am going to explore the Gspot. And for this purpose, I went to a place by the name of Adelebsen, because it's the birthplace of the one who discovered the Gspot, which is Ernst Gräfenberg. Ernst Gräfenberg was born here on September 26, 1881. And not only did he discover the Gspot, he also invented the copper IUD, or at least something that resembled the copper IUD. I just wanted to take you here to show you how it looks like. Follow along with me. What is the Gspot anyway? It's an erogenous zone located in the anterior vaginal wall underneath the female urethra. There has been a lot of discussion about its existence, and I have more detailed information on this on my recent video on Skinny's glands. If you are interested, please watch that video after this one. Ernst Gräfenberg was a German gynecologist. His family was Jewish, which later in his life became a major problem during the dark times Germany went through. This plague in Adelebsen reminds of the Jewish victims of the village killed by the Nazi regime. Ernst Gräfenberg was imprisoned in Berlin in 1938 to 1940 until he managed to buy himself out of prison by selling everything he owned. With the help of Margaret Sanger, he then managed to flee the country and emigrate to the US. He died in New York in 1957, more or less unnoticed. The story of the Gspot started in 1944 with a publication in the Western Journal of Surgery, Obstetrics and Gynecology. This paper can be considered as the dawn of the Gspot. Now you know why it is called the Gspot, Gräfenberg spot, in short, Gspot. He had discovered that some of his patients suffered from loss of orgasm when using a diaphragm. He found out that the diaphragm covered the anterior vaginal wall and the suburethral region. When these women were switched on a cervix cap instead, orgasm was re-established. In 1950, he published his discovery in more detail in the International Journal of Sexology, which, from today's standpoint, has to be regarded as a milestone study. However, he didn't get credit for his discovery until after his death. Gräfenberg never used the term Gspot. That name was introduced by researchers John D. Perry and Beverly Whipple as late as in 1981. Ernst Gräfenberg went to medical school in Göttingen, where I have my clinic, and in Munich. In 1910, he eventually ended up in Berlin, where he became a widely renowned gynecologist. Among his patients were the spouses of businessmen and diplomats, as well as celebrities from the opera and theaters. And you might recall that during the Roaring 20s, Berlin was one of the places to be. Already at the beginning of that decade, Ernst Gräfenberg began to develop means for birth control. He inserted silver wires into the uterus, which turned out to be a very effective method of contraception. In 1928, he presented his invention to the world for the first time at a course on birth control held in Berlin. His colleagues remained very skeptical, so that he didn't get the credit he deserved. During the 1970s, analyses on those initial intrauterine devices were done and revealed massive pollution of the silver with copper, among others. It accounted for 28%, so without really being aware of the true mechanism, he had invented the first copper IUD. After his emigration, Gräfenberg passed the US Medical Board exam at the age of 60 and opened a private practice for gynecology in New York. He didn't live to see the rise of his contraceptive method during the 60s, neither the discussion on his discoveries in sexual medicine during the 80s. Today, nothing in Adelebsen reminds of the town's most famous son. No street is named after him, there is no memorial, nor is there any identification in what house he was born. But they have a castle and Ludger Beerbaum, one of the internationally most successful show jumping riders of his time. So if you love horses and castles, Adelebsen is definitely worth a visit. Here's the link to my video on Skinny's glands. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.